Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Viewers, I greet you with the universal gift of Islam, and that is Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Today I'm bringing you a very eye-opening research done by intellectuals who specialize on that angle of thought. You know, contrary to popular belief, we are made to believe that certain religions are responsible for a lot of killings and casualties of war. But statistics have shown recently, written in a book, you know, by top-class intellectuals and distinguished scholars who specialize on that angle. And they have come out with a research, and that is very, very important. I think each and every one of us should start reading and should start analyzing information contrary to, or as opposed to dogmatism. Dogmatism is something that you are taught to believe, whether it's true or not. When in fact, when we analyze dogmatism with our intelligence, we come to realize that it is so very, very, unfactual. In fact, we have to use the God-given bodily sense and mental powers. The senses to analyze and process information. Because anyone who believes in dogma, that means something that is being taught without any reference, without any empirical evidence, without any ground to believe in them, has gone completely away from, the respect of our intelligence. So this book, written by distinguished scholars from all walks of life, is entitled, War and Peace in Islam. And I'm going to be giving you what they say, who is number one, which religion or which, way of life, or which philosophy or which ideology killed the most people on the face of the earth. Number one, according to what we read in that book, they say over 119 to 236 million people died as a result of the Christian religion. This is empirical evidence, and the world knows about it, but they're trying to make hush-hush about it. They don't want to tell the world. Well, this is what these scholars have come about with. If you look at all the wars being, perpetuated or made by the Christians, a lot of people die. Up to 236. That is a staggering number. And number two, we have the anti-theists. The anti-theists, or to say atheists. In other words, the atheist ideology. When we look at Russia, we look at North Korea, and we look at the Balkans, and we look at China, and a lot of dissident killing have taken place, and the world have no chance to record all these things. But today, the level of information that have come to the world today have made it such that people can have access to these kind of books, extant books, and they analyze it. Going back to the history of mankind, they realize that the Chinese people, or rather the atheists, coupled with the Russians and the Balkans, back in the day, they've killed over 124 million casualties as a result of them trying to force their dogma for people to understand. People never saw it coming. So in the midst of all this gradation from number one to number 7, you'll be asking, people thinking about Islam. So where does Islam fit in right now? The cynic Greeks, the philosophers during the 4th century, according to what they did, forcing the people on certain ideas and ideas of life, they have killed over 107 million people. That is the casualties of war, according to what this empirical evidence made research by intellectuals from all walks of life. Those who wrote this book, they didn't say some were Muslim, some were Christian, some came from different part of the world. And so it's very, very staggering. And guess who's number 4? The Buddhist ideology of Madagascar. They are responsible with 87 million people, casualties of death according to their religion. Now you can think about the Hindu temple. They maim people, they kill people, they behead people. They did a lot of atrocities, but it has not surfaced until today. So researchers have come to understand that these are some of the things that have happened, back in the days that people don't have access to it. Then we have the number 5, which is the primal indigenes, that is the traditional religions stretching all over the world, from South America to South Africa to Africa to part of Asia and all over the world. They are responsible with 47 million deaths. Nobody report all these things. Why is it that everybody is bent on Islam, Islam, Islam? And guess what? The Islamic civilization, according to these intellectuals who wrote this book, War and Peace in Islam, coming from different part of the world with different, background. But based upon their knowledge of what is happening in the world, they were able to make this analysis, and they are showing us that Islam is number 6. And they say the reason why Islam is number 6, not number 7, the end, is that the war of jihad has been misunderstood. Islam has never asked anyone to kill anybody. In fact, the Quran said if you kill one person, it is as if you've killed the whole of mankind. And if you make one person to live, you spare a life, it is as if you spare the whole world to live. The Islamic ideology is about oneness of humanity. In other words, the universal humanism. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. What I'm saying right now, people will say, no. You know why? Because it is based upon dogmatism. This is what people have been taught from infancy, to believe that Islam is killing. Now, if you look at the world today, look at the world state. Who is killing more? Is it the Muslims or the non-Muslim? It is the atheistic community or the Western community. There's just so many wars that I don't have time to make mention of. If I do, you will begin to think. But I would like for you to think from right now, go back in time, 15 to 20 years ago. How many wars have you gone through? Who is doing that killing? I'm not going to give you that statistic. So Islam occupied number 6, according to, the casualties of war, those who died with reason and no reason. And that is something that is so staggering. For the first time, people are going to hear this thing, and they're going to raise their hands, and they're going to do this and that, and object it. But look, I challenge each and every one of you listening right now to go and do your own research. Google it, check it out, and find the book and read War and Peace in Islam and Other Communities. Number 7 is the Indic civilization. The Indic civilization began over 2500 BC. They killed 1.9 people. Look at the distance years that we've passed through. It's a very peaceful, according to what they say, the early urban civilization. They don't have war machineries to even kill more. But what history have reserved for us is what we are going with. So the Islamic community is not the bad guy. In fact, if I should open the New Testament and give you verses of killing and maiming, destroying, killing the young, killing the oxen, killing everybody, if somebody don't agree with the ideology of the Old Testament and the New Testament, he should be killed. If I should quote for you in the book of Luke, where Jesus said, if anyone comes along and does not believe in me to be their king, bring them here and slay them before me. If I should quote for you the book of Matthew, where Jesus said, do not think that I've come to bring peace on earth, I've come to bring sword and all this kind of stuff. So people don't want to talk about that. They make hush about it. So these are some of the information that I think is very, very important and vital for each and every one of you to read and understand. Haza billahi tawfiq. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.